Start here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm not a professor, but you can call me Nap. And welcome on in. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday and having a good end to your weekend. It's been less than 24 hours since I last streamed, it's kind of weird. It's like, I don't normally do that, so it's kind of weird to like stream this close, like back to back. But yeah, and not much, not much has really changed in the amount of time since then. Hey, History and Horrorful, good to see ya. Welcome on in. Yeah, today we're gonna be doing something we haven't done, I think, since like November, roughly. It was actually, wait, hold on. Let me look real quick. I can look on my Twitter real quick. When was the last time we did this? I go to the media. Hold on. The last time we did one of these streams was, oh, here we go. November 19th. Almost 2 months. It's been almost 2 months since we've done one of these streams, which is crazy. Because after that, we got into 2 Point Museum, and we got into, oh yeah, we did our, what's it called? Our Zillow historic house stream, where I was looking at historic houses on Zillow. And then we did our, for all of December, we did our looking through Sears catalogs from the 1950s to 1990s. So yeah, it feels kind of good to be going back to what we normally do. But if this is your first time here, basically what I would do is that I go just basically do live genealogy research. Wow, just how out of it I am. I'm not used to talking this much still after that break. But I do live genealogy research using websites like Ancestry, Fold3, newspapers.com, and Family Search to do just kind of basic search for people that I find and that I want to learn more about. In the past, we've done it where I do research on patents that I discovered. We did it this is like almost last year at this point. I did some streams where I was using Google Patents to basically find funny and cool patents. And then all the patent records also have not just the name of the inventor, but also the year it was filed and the location of where that person was living at the time, which is the perfect starting point for doing genealogy research. And so we would look up people who like invented like weird and funny things, and we got some crazy stories with some of them. Hold on, wait, do I still have... Oh yeah, okay, hold on, let me move myself real quick. I still have them. Let me move myself and shrink myself down here. Okay, so one of the things that we've done in the past, some of the patents we've researched in the past that, let's see, which ones do I have here? Oh yeah, the inventor of these funny just like novelty glasses. We had a pen gun. The gun disguised to look like a pen. Not to be confused with the gun pen, a gun that is secretly a pen. And what was crazy about the inventor of this one turned out to be actually a famous toy inventor who invented things like Rock'em Sock'em Robots and Mousetrap and stuff like that. Like, it was crazy, that stream. And then we had, oh yeah, this blanket. This is one of my favorites. This was basically a blanket that was designed to protect you from a nuclear blast. You're supposed to carry this around with you, and then if there's a threat of a bomb going off, you just step inside and hope for the best. And I guess, yes, it would maybe protect you from like the heat or the radiation, but not going to do much against the blast wave. But what was crazy about this one was that the guy who invented this, you would think that, oh, maybe he was like involved in maybe like some sort of like engineering, like nuclear energy or like nuclear physics, field. Or maybe he was involved in like fashion or fabrics or textiles, you know, something like that. No, the guy who invented this at the time that it was invented was a studio executive at 20th Century Fox. A movie studio executive invented this, who before he was a movie studio head in like the 20s and 30s was basically living like Great Gatsby style, like Roaring 20s life. It was like absolutely insane. Tuck and cover but cozy. That's great. I love that. Yeah, it is very much like that. But that's not what we're going to be doing today. That's not what we're going to be doing today. Today, we're going to be looking at some photos that I bought at some antique stores while I was on my Christmas break. And we've done photos before on this stream, where I bought photos at antique stores, and if they have the names written on the back of them, that means that I can like research them and look them up. Hold on, sorry, I just need to pull something up real quick that I realized I forgot to do at the start of stream. There we go. Okay. So what we're going to be looking at today are some of these. So these are the photos that I bought. These 4 photos. We normally, how we do this, we do 1 photo per stream. I don't think we've ever done a stream where it's like we do more than 1 photo, or we do more like 1 photo, or like person goes into like more than 1 stream. But yeah, so these are the 4 photos that I bought. They all have enough information, both in terms of like they have the names on the back and also have information where the photo was taken, which is like the minimum you need to get this all ready and set up. And also another one that I found that we're going to do at a later date after we finish these 4 photos and research those. There's this photo here. Now this is a photo of a birthday party from 1888 that I found. And if you can see there, each child in this photo has a number next to them, in front of them. And on the back of this image, each person is fully named. And my goal, it's going to be a long project. It's going to take probably months to do this. But I want to research all of these people. And there's 24 in total, so that's, like I said, it's going to take a while. And who knows, we might not even be able to find all of them. Because we have the year that this photo was taken and everything. The only hint we have for location is at the bottom there, where it says that this was a property of Henry M. Dunn, and that it was, who apparently lived in Pennsylvania in a town that I can't pronounce. So I'm hoping that Dunn is a ancestor of one of these people, and that he lived in the same place as this photo was taken. That's going to make this a lot easier. But what we're specifically going to be doing today, the photo that I have chosen today that we're going to be researching is this guy. Now, there's no information on the front here that you can see, but we get this dapper-looking gentleman right here. Is, according to the back of this... Oh, wait, hold on, let me scoot myself over here. This photograph is apparently a man by the name of Charlie Cummings. And the photograph, the photographer is interesting because it says it was taken by a man named T.G. Lawrence in Mattoon, Illinois, but that's crossed out. And then below it, written in pencil, is Charleston, Illinois. So I think what that's saying is that Charlie likely lived in Charleston, Illinois, and that's where this photo was taken. Hopefully, or it was, well, not, the photo was maybe not taken there. Maybe it was taken in Mattoon, but it was, but Charlie lived in Charleston. Charlie lived in Charleston. Oh my God, I just made that connection. Oh, I hope that's right. I hope Charlie lived in Charleston. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to start by just looking up the name Charlie Cummings. And it looks like he spells it Charley, it looks like. But we'll see. And then Cummings right there is at the end. And then we'll see if we can find one in Charleston, Illinois. Unfortunately, there's no year on this one. So that makes it a little bit difficult to kind of figure out where exactly or when exactly this photo was taken. Just based off the style, if I had to guess, it looks like 1900s, 1910, early 1900s, 1910s, kind of in that range, based on the style. I don't think it's late 1800s, because I feel like facial hair was more popular during that period, and he's clean shaven. Also, the suit with no tie or bow tie or anything, it feels more like something from the 19-teens or early 1900s, if I had to guess. And again, I don't really know. If I had to guess, he's probably a teenager. It's always hard to tell with older photos sometimes how old somebody is, because they always look older compared to what we expect. But if I had to guess, he looks probably teenager, young adult, teenager, kind of that range. But let's see. I think without further ado, let's go ahead and let's start our research. So let me go ahead and get this ready to go. All right. There we go. I don't know why it always takes me a while to show up here when I switch over to this, but yeah, so all right, so we got Ancestry pulled up right here. So I'll start spelling it first like this, and we'll see what happens. We don't have a birth year yet. So we want to look up Charleston, Illinois. Okay. Now, if we're lucky, Charleston, Illinois is a small place, a small town, or a small area that doesn't have... Because Cummings is kind of a common last name. But we'll see. All right, search. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that's 1940. Illinois. Okay, we got some stuff. Okay. Hold on, actually. Hey, Spellscribe, good to see ya. Also, I responded. I don't know if you saw. I did respond to your message. I just saw it right as I started stream, and I did a quick little response there. So, also, I did. I don't. To kind of answer your question that you sent me earlier today, I don't. Oh, you did get it. Sweet. Cool. So I hope that's helpful. I tried to be as helpful as I could, but unfortunately, with some of these things, it's really hard to find specific information. But basically all we're doing is we're researching the guy in the photo above me here, whose name is Charlie Cummings, and apparently lived in Charleston, Illinois. Something I forgot to do also before I started stream. Was look up Charleston, Illinois. on Google Maps. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is Charleston. Doesn't look like that big of a town. (2020) census, population of 17,000 people. Eastern Illinois University, and close ties with a neighbor. Oh, close ties with its neighbor, Mattoon. Okay. Oh yeah, there it is right there. Okay, so the photo was taken here. What if I change it? Okay, hold on. What if I change it real quick to Cole County? Country, state. Yeah, county and adjacent counties. Really, nothing. Huh. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. If that's not... I just change it to Cole. Yeah, Coles County, Illinois. Not even like somebody like... Oh, wait, no, why are these exact? Hold on. Maybe that'll help. Okay. That's why we're getting nothing before. Charles Cummings. No, 1945. Newspapers, marriage, 1970, no. Yeah, this is definitely not 1945. This is older than that. Cheryl S. Cummings. Shirley. All we're getting is this guy born in 1945, which we know... Marriage about 1940. Wait, hold on, what is this? Hold on. Why is it corrected like that? Marriage license is Charles Edward Crawford. Herman Cummings. No, okay, that's not it. Oh yeah, and this is born Kentucky. Yeah, so all these ones with him being born in around that time. Well, hold on, what if we just move that all the way there? Cheryl Cummings, Helen Cummings. Okay, I think this is a bit too broad. There is a family, though. There is a Cummings family in Mattoon. in the 40s. And yeah, Charleston, Illinois. These are the right places. Hold on, okay, can I... Let's see. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to... do we have... city directories? Here we go, city and area directories. Okay. Okay, USA. Show more. Where's... Okay, Illinois. History of Coles County. That's exactly what we need. Okay, let's just search the last name. Okay. It did not work. Can I just look at... Okay, yeah, wait, hold on. Illustrations, historical, general history. Lithographed portraits. Cunningham. Biographical sketches. Directory of Taxpayers. What year is this from? Doesn't say. So what if we go to the very end? 657. Should be roughly. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Which township is this? Oh, this is not. This is actually page 687, so hold on. So let's try. I have to go back 30 pages, so let's try. There we go. Okay, Charles. Let's see. Any... No. Okay, nobody there. What page was Mattoon? 320... Wait, no. That's for the county history. Okay, 636... Or 663, so it'll be... 636? Roughly. Okay. Let's go back a few pages. Here we go. Oh, wait, no, these aren't in alphabetical order. I thought they were in officially alphabetical order. Okay, hold on, so I might need to go back to the other one. Okay, Cunningham. Or Cummingham. John Cunningham. Robert Cunningham. W.C. Cunningham. It's just Cunningham. And that's not, yeah, that's not the same. Similarly spelled, but it's not the same. back to Charleston real quick and look at all the C's again because I thought they were in ABC order, but they're not. Okay, Brown, Chambers, Cunningham again. It's county judge. Cook, Chambers. No. No, nothing. Okay, so there's nothing in this thing, unfortunately. Let's look at this one real quick. So let's do Illinois. Oh, do they not have one for this county? Oh, wait, no. Oh, these are cities. City or county. Okay, so they have one for Mattoon. They have one for Mattoon. So maybe we can try... I mean, he doesn't live necessarily in Mattoon, but maybe that'll give us something? Okay, so there's a big gap. Let's just try 1902, maybe? Or just have it be that. Let's just do Mattoon. Mattoon, Coles County, Illinois. Okay. I'll just do the last name. And then... let's see if there's anything. Okay. Okay, here we go. There are some... but these are mostly from the 40s. Okay, hold on. We gotta narrow this down. Let's do county and adjacent counties. And let's maybe make that less broad. Okay. And how many... okay, let's try... okay, we have Ed. Ed Cummings, M.R. Cummings, Miss Laura Cummings, and Miss Kate Cummings. And again, this is Mattoon. This isn't Charleston. Okay, so that's not any of those ones. Oh, whoops, wait, no. Clicked on the wrong thing. Let's try the 1910 ones. MR, Mac R, Valentine, and WD. Okay. Let's try 1921. Dewey, Ethel, Edwin, Jean, Laura, and Patrick. Okay. Let's see. Oh, well, what's an T.C. Lawrence? Okay, hold on. T.C. Lawrence is the name of the photographer on the back of this. What if... What if we look him up in the city directory? Because he was apparently working in Mattoon. If he had a photography business, he, you know, he would likely be in the city directory. I don't know if TC is going to be enough. But let's try. Okay, hold on. Let's get rid of the 1920s thing. A.T. Lawrence. What does this one say? 1910. What are these? Are these just general people, or are they... North Okata. Wait, no, this isn't even the right place. Oh, wait, is this... Wait, hold on. Morgan Township. Mattoon Township. Okay, hold on. Champion. Okay, there's no Cummings listed here. What about Lawrence? Any Lawrences? No. No Lawrences. Let's go back to Lafayette Township. Need to find Charleston County. Or Charleston Township, sorry, not Charleston County. Okay, here we go. No, nobody with that name. No, yeah, nothing. Okay, so... That is not a great sign. Oh, let's go back to just the general all collection search. Is it Cole? It's Coles, right? Yeah, Coles County, Illinois. And let's make it at least to the state, maybe? let's look at... Where's directories? Specifically city and area directories. City directories. Let's maybe change it so that it's... Change so it's that. Surely, no. The ones in Chicago are likely not going to be him. Can we narrow it down so that it's not Chicago? Which are these two? Wow, there's none for a specific county that we want. Well, what if we do county and adjacent counties? Wow, really? Well, this is getting disappointing. Okay. Well, again, let's go back to... Hold on. Let's look for this photographer real quick. Let me make sure I'm spelling that right. Lawrence. Yeah, I am. Okay. Okay, just the AT. Maybe move that back a little bit. Move that back a little bit. Maybe to the state. Okay, T. Lawrence. Not in... Oh god, there's so many. We don't want Cook and Peoria, because that's Chicago area. Or what if I just make it T? T. Lawrence. And make it go back to the county one. Or is it just going to be AT Lawrence still? And that doesn't help us at all. Okay, hold on. Okay, what about this? Let's maybe actually try and do some newspaper research real quick. Charlie... Charlie Cummings. And I'll make it so that it's, you know, Coles County, Illinois. Oh, whoops, what the heck? Why did it not? First of all, I forgot to do... Yeah, it shows how out of practice I am. I forgot to do the classic quotations. Okay. Oh my god! Hold on. I think we got it. Charlie Cummings, the Quondam Mattoon photographer, is carrying on Murphy Temperance business in the northwest part of the state. We are glad to learn that he has reformed. Whoa, okay. Oh, there's a lot going on here. One, the Mattoon photographer. Okay, so... Hold on. I just thought something. Oh no. Wait. Okay, well, yeah, okay, hold on. But, okay, first of all, this is way older than I thought. 1877. Second of all, he's working with temperance. Which is like, if you don't know, temperance is like anti-alcohol, like religious anti-alcohol movement that eventually led to prohibition in the U.S. Hold on. Okay, there's 3 things here, all from Mattoon, Illinois. Charlie Cummings is now photographer in Virginia, Illinois. This is 1876. And it is spelled like that. Okay, this is from 1882. Charlie Cummings was in the city Saturday and Monday. He is at Birdstown running a photograph gallery, and the people have had confidence enough to give him the office of police magistrate and also the title of judge. Wait, what? Wait, so he's all 3 of those things? He's a photographer. He's a judge and a police magistrate? Dang. Okay. Now, hold on, I think I might have to go back to the home screen real quick. Because I need to show the back of the photograph again to you guys, because I think I might have discovered something that I think might have thrown all of this off. I'll show up here in just a second, because there's always a delay for some reason. Oop. Okay. This is something that I just realized. What if Charlie Cummings is not the person in this photograph? Because what I think is happening here is that he is printing this photograph on like an old cardstock for someone that used to photograph in the town, that going by T.C. Lawrence, Mattoon photographer, and just be like, oh no, that's not who was the photographer, because both the name of the photographer and the place are crossed out. I think this is not Charlie Cummings in this photograph. The name and writing on the back of it is Charlie writing down his name on this cardstock. Does that make sense? So this guy is not Charlie Cummings, I don't think. I think it's just, I just saw a name written on the back of this, and I assumed that was the person in the photograph. But I'm starting to think that's not the case. Also, this is way older than I was initially thinking. So when was he living in Charleston? Because we only have these 3 newspaper articles to go off of. Okay, what if I change it to just Illinois? And change it... Okay, first of all, sort... Let's do oldest first. Looking at my historical costuming encyclopedia, the outfit does fit the 1870 to 1900 time frame, though he is scandalously without a tie. Yeah, that's what was throwing me off too. That's why I thought it was later, because he doesn't have a tie or anything like that on. Also, I feel like he's a bit more clean-shaven than men from this time period, but that could have just been his personal choice, but... Okay. Let's see. Okay, there's a lot of different... Okay, hold on. So, Birdstown running a photo. Where's Birdstown? Where is Birdstown? Oh, wow. Even more middle of nowhere. Okay, closer to this area. Okay. So that is where, in Cass County. Okay. Where's Lena? That's also maybe why he's not showing up in a lot of, newspapers, because he is from smaller towns. Where is Lena, Illinois, in comparison? Is that the same, Charlie? Stephenson County. No, it looks different. How many are there in total? 73. Okay. The oldest one goes back to 1870. Let's tell our rivals. Charlie Cummings from... Okay, so this could be a completely different Charlie Cummings coming from Kentucky. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Hold on. Ah. I started doing research again and I didn't transition back to to the screen. I'm so sorry. You guys couldn't see what I was doing. So yeah, so Beardstown. Let's see. Hello, Sherman Tank. Oh, I'm so sorry, but I don't allow links in chat. You can actually go ahead and probably describe it, what you found in your grandmother's photo box. Is it a photo of your great-great-grandmother? Because that's really cool. Do you know roughly like what year that photo was taken? If that's what that is? I do appreciate you you guys being enthusiastic and sharing stuff, but I get too paranoid with links in chat, so I just kind of band it all together. Okay. Oh, it's her alien registration card. Oh, that's cool. Photo and fingerprint and registration number. That's cool. Do you know roughly, like... Okay, so does it have a year on it, so you know what year? And do you know where she was coming... What country she was coming from? Yeah, I've seen a lot of those. Registration cards are very, very valuable and very important when it comes to, like, family research and stuff like that. No year. She came from Italy. Wow. That's cool. Well, okay, let me look at this newspaper. This one's from 74. A brakeman on the Chicago and Rock Island Road named Charlie Cummings fell from the top of a freight train, sustained from injuries that may prove fatal. I don't think that's our guy, because I don't think he would have been on a train line like that. Let's try this one. Oh god, hold on. This is terrible quality. Wait, what is this article? Research says she came around 1902. Wow, do you know if she went through 1902? Did she go through Ellis Island and all that? And did she come by herself, with family? And roughly like how old she was? Charlie is Foreman. Freight business. Let's see. Okay, I don't think this is our guy. Mr. Charlie Cummings and wife have been spending a few weeks in the East. Returned to Lena this morning in good health. Came through New York, but then lived in San Francisco, then Alameda. Interesting. So if they came through New York, they probably did go through Ellis Island then. If she was in San Francisco, if she came around 1902, do you know if she was in San Francisco for the 1906 earthquake? Because if she was, that would be a really interesting story right there. That'd be a crazy family story. I don't know if this is our Charlie Cummings that we're looking for. My great-grandmother, whom I knew when I was a kid, used to tell stories about the earthquake. She remembered being on the hill watching it burn. Wow, that is crazy. I'll just say this. I grew up actually going to San Francisco a lot. So I'm actually, like, because I'm originally from the West Coast, and I grew up going to San Francisco a lot. So I'm familiar with all that stuff, 1906 earthquake and all that. So yeah, and you mentioned Alameda as well. I used to go to when I was in Cub Scouts, I actually used to go to the USS Hornet there all the time and stuff like that. There's tons of good museums in the Bay Area. Just overall a great place. Let's see. What is... Charlie Cummings got the long-expected bounce Monday? Thus, they go one by one to make room for pets of the new company. What does that mean? I don't know if I want to know what that means. Did you ever compare what changed in San Francisco before and after the earthquake? Oh, all the time. Oh, wait, hold on. We got ads. Okay. If we have ads... I will go ahead and hold off what I'm going to say. And wait for the ads to be over before I continue doing this. But man, I'm starting to think that the Charlie Cummings is not the person in this photograph. But hey, I think we can instead see if we can find anything about... Okay, wait, so now that we know roughly the time period that we need... Oh, whoops, no, that's not what I meant to click on. So let's try. I'll get this done, set up now before the ads are over. I'll just put Illinois. I'll just put Illinois for now. I guess I'll do 1880, because that's be like the closest census to like those newspapers that we found, and if not, it'd be the 1870 census. But I'll hold off on searching it until we get to our ads being over. Let's see. Okay. I think this should be over now. Let's see. So to answer your question, Sherman, yes. Oh yeah, I used to look at those books between like compare changes to San Francisco before and after the earthquake all the time. I think okay, well it's not an earthquake related one, but I know my mom had a book that was like growing up that was like San Francisco then and now. And like I think one of the photos was like earthquake related. But yeah, no, it's crazy how much that city has changed so much. I haven't been able to find out exactly when my ancestors first came to North America. They were already living in Barbados in 1679. Wow. The records before that are hard to find. Oh, yeah. Well, because I think by that point you probably have to go to either Barbados or Europe to find them. And they're just way harder. And you probably need to know the language, unless you're English. I typed my great-grandfather's name in Google and a PDF article came up in Italian. It was a court appeal. Denied. Apparently he shot a man in the face due to undue aggravation and got 3 years before he came to America. That is a crazy family story. I'm surprised. I mean, did he kill him or did he like... Because he only got 3 years. Did he just injure him or did he actually kill him? Because killing somebody and only getting 3 years is crazy. And then after that, coming to America. Oh, wow. But, okay, so what we're going to do here is, now that we know roughly the time period that Charlie Cummings was a photographer, I decided to just do a general search for 1880, because that is the year that, if he is going to be in an Illinois census, that is the one he is most likely to show up in. So let's see. Okay, a lot of these are showing birth in 1870. Let's see. Okay, let's just do specifically this state, so that way it'll narrow it down. And, okay, hold on, wait, can we... let's see, census records. Let's 1880s. Okay. Birth, about 1870, no. Charlie C. Cummings, Bushnell. Wait. Oh, wait, yeah, what was the name of the... He is at Birdstown running a photo gallery. That's in 1882. Champagne, Morgan, Lena. Hold on. This will maybe help us figure out if this Lena one is him. Because if he's a photographer... No, occupation checking dry goods. The Lena one is likely not him. Hold on, wait. Illinois. No one Cook. Oh, there is one for Coles. Hold on. No. Okay, that's not it. No, he lived injured. Says his first and last name was more rare. The age and year fit. The location fits and fits at the timeline of the census. In 1940 and 1950, there's an 85 to 90% chance the article was him. Huh. Interesting. I mean, this is me personally, but I personally wouldn't trust ChatGPT with that kind of stuff, but that's just me. It can be, ChatGPT can be very, like, when you're looking for, like, very specific things, I would say, you know, it's more finicky. Like, when it comes to genealogy research. I mean, the fact that you were able to find, like, the actual, like, link to the article, I think it would be, like, one of those things where, like, you'd have to, like, do more research to try and back it up. But it is cool that you found that article, though. Hold on, wait, what county is Beatstown in? Cass County. Is that one of the ones here? Okay, Cass. Oh, hold on. Is this? Photographer! We found him! We found him! Oh my god. Oh my god, we found him. Oh my god, okay. Oh, this is perfect. I'm not exactly from the Bay Area. I'll just say, just without risk of doxing myself, I am from California. With a few other places, but... and now I'm on the East Coast, but... I grew up going to the Bay Area a lot. Okay, so, wow, okay, sweet. So this is the right guy. We found our guy. And by guy, I mean, like, it's technically not the person in the photograph above me. It's technically the photographer of this photograph. Because, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's not the man that we're looking for. Wow, okay, so he has a wife. He is married to a woman named Carrie, has a daughter named Belle, and a son named Allison. Poor man Nelly? Is that his name? That is an unfortunate last name. 15, sister-in-law. So his wife's sister is living with them. Birthplace of father, Kentucky. Okay, so he was. Oh, so that means if he's from. Oh wait, Illinois. Oh, okay, wait. Maybe he was born in Illinois, but his parents are from Kentucky. So that means that newspaper article that we found. Hold on, where is it? This one, hotel arrivals. Charlie Cummings, Kentucky. That is likely him, maybe coming back from like visiting his parents, something like that. Or other family members. So that actually could be him. Okay. Okay. Wow. Oh, this is awesome. I'm so happy right now. Because now we have all this other stuff. Charles H. Cummings was his full name. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, first of all, let's look at census records. So, okay, apparently he was born around 1843. Okay, so that means this would be the first census he would show up in 1850. Birthplace, Illinois. Okay, hold on. Where... Brown... Okay, here we go. Charles H. Cummings. Ruth A. Oh, it was his mother... Place of birth. Illinois. Kentucky. Illinois. Maybe Ohio? Illinois. So, okay, so Charles A. So this is him, 7 years old. That would make sense. He's living with somebody. And I'm guessing this is his sister. Is this his father? H.B. Cummings? It's just weirdly out of order, maybe? I don't know, because they're just living in this house. H.B. Cummings, Ruth A. Cummings. Groundskeeper? Something keeper. Huh, okay. Okay, wait, hold on. Canada incoming passengers list. When is this? Born about 1843. Arrival date 1911. Occupation retiree. Okay, this is near the end of his life. Is there a purpose for visit? Hold on, okay. Here we go. He's by himself. 68. Yeah, that's right. Oh, God, it's so bad. USA. Meredith, New Hampshire. Destination. Okay, so he moved to New Hampshire from the looks of it. Well, okay, the only other census we get is this one from 1900. So there's like a 30-year, because it's like, okay, the first one we have is, well, I'm going to get rid of that because we don't need that anymore. So we have an 1850 census from when he was a kid. Then it goes from that directly to an 1880 census, so 30 years later. And the next one we have is a 1900 census. And they have another son, Charlie. This was born 1852. Oh, sorry, 1842. So around the same. Birthplace, Illinois. Kentucky. Justice of the Peace. Wait, yeah, because that makes sense. Because in the article that we saw, hold on, which one was it? Was it this one? We're running a photograph gallery, and the people have confidence enough to give him the police magistrate and also title of judge. So he's still a judge. This is in 1882. So he's still a judge in 1900. He went from being a photographer to a judge. That is a crazy jump. Okay, so then there's one more census we have from 1910. He's still living in the same town. Kentucky. And yeah, he's an attorney. And Carrie. So he's an attorney. He's not a justice anymore, or a judge. Okay. So then by the next year he retires, 1911. By the next year he retires and he's going to Meredith, New Hampshire. He's by himself. I don't know if he's just going there for a trip or not, but what's the latest thing we have here? U.S. directories. What's this U.S. directory? What does it say? Okay, yeah, this is the right one. Oh, did they live in Chicago at one point? Oh no, this is later. 1916, widow. No, this is Carrie. Carrie moved to Chicago after he died. Okay, so he died by he was dead by 1916. So between 1911 and 1916. So 1911 would be the last census we would see him in. What? Okay, we have a marriage record here. Is this going to be his marriage record, or is it going to be like one of his kids' marriage records? Okay, let's see. Name of groom. Let's see. Let's see, where is he? Oh, wait. Oh no, it is their kids. For their son Allison. Okay. Well, the information seems to all fit. My great-grandfather's name is rare. The age fits from his known birth date, and it was the right area, etc. Hey, that's great. Yeah, if you're always with that kind of stuff, if you're able to back it up with other things, I think yeah, it's very likely that yeah, that is your great-great-grandfather, which is honestly a crazy story. I don't have any crazy stories like that in my family. Only crazy story I have in my family is that one of my ancestors was killed in a sawmill after getting hit with a flying board. Like a board shot forward. I think it hit him in the head. This was like in the 1880s, probably. Something like that I found. That's probably the craziest story that I could actually like prove. Then there were actually some things I actually like disproved, like family stories. Like we had like the classic, like American story of like, oh yes, we have such and such percent Native American because, one of our ancestors married a Native American woman and stuff like that. And then I took one of those, 23andMe and DNA tests. I took it, my dad took it, and my grandfather took it, because that was the side that was supposed to be on. And there was absolutely zero Native American in any of us. It was, yeah. Like, it's just kind of the classic example of, like, those stories that, like, everyone says, but turn out to actually not really be true. What does this marriage record say? Does this have... Okay, this is slightly off, because it says Cummins instead of Cummings. But it is right. Cary, Poorman, Cole, Illinois. So they did get married in Cole County. 1874 is when they got married, according to this. What is the source of this? Okay. Let's see. What next one should we look at? I want to save the death ones for last. Okay, yeah, these draft records. I wonder if he had a military record. Another interesting thing, my great-great-grandmother and grandfather are buried with their daughter. She only lived to 11. My great-grandmother had a sister that died young for some reason. I mean, unfortunately, dying young during that era was probably way more common than it is today. I know my grandmother had like four siblings who died, while they were children. So unfortunately, it used to be a lot more common back then. Okay, birthplace around 80. Yeah, this is right. I think... Okay, wait, hold on. I think this is him. Charles Cumming. Profession or trade, labor. He's 20. That makes sense. Illinois. State of Illinois. Or Springfield, Illinois. I mean, I think this is him. The age is right. Okay, here we go. Naval enlistment rendezvous. Curious about this. Was he like in the Navy during the war? Oh no, this isn't the right guy. Enlisted in 1864. Enlistment place, New Bedford, Massachusetts. Yeah, that's not... Age is right, but that's not the right... Yeah, birthplace Chicago. Birthplace Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, I don't think this is him. Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, dentist. Yeah, that's not him. This isn't our right guy. That's the thing when you do this kind of research, is that you always gotta double check and make sure everything, at least a few facts line up before you can 100% say. Okay, so let's go ahead then and let's pull up this, a good old Find a Grave. So let's go ahead and pull up that website. Oh, we got a picture of him. Whoa, wow, a lot of pictures of him. Wow, okay. Wow, look at all these. Look at all. Okay, this has to be from William H. Perrin's The History of Cass County. Wow, this is so much information. This is great. And we got photos of him, too. Which... Okay, hold on. Comparing this to the photo... photo on our right. Although this is Cummins. So maybe that isn't the right person. I mean, this part is right. This is right. This is him. And look at that man. That is the most... That is the most early 1900s man I've ever seen. With the top hat and everything. He looks like he's about to die on the Titanic. It's weird how last names get cut off. Like my grandmother's cousin's family was Anton Giovanni. And at some point between him and his parents, it was changed or cut off to Anton. Yeah, I mean, that's very common when people emigrate to the States. Eventually they cut it off. Hey, pirate, good to see you. Welcome on in. Well, to quickly catch you up, we started what I thought was researching...
That's pretty neat.
Hey! Sherman, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on in. Oh, Americans were talking about cutting off names, like how when families would immigrate to America, they would Americanize their names and like make them shorter or something different entirely. But to catch you up to speed real quick, hold on. Actually, it's better to do it here. Let me go back to this screen, actually. Okay, so so to catch you up real quick on what we're doing, I bought this photograph at a antique store, and I thought we were researching this guy, you see here, who I thought his name was Charlie Cummings from Charleston, Illinois, which is listed right here. However, I come to realize that what's actually going on here, you might notice that the name of the photographer here is crossed out. Like this part is crossed out, this T.C. Lawrence in Mattoon, Illinois is crossed out. Well, what we discovered is that Charlie Cummings was a photographer. So what this actually means is that this name written here is not the person in the photo. What this is this is Charlie Cummings using this like backstock from somebody else who used to be a photographer near the same town as him and him just crossing out his name on it and then writing his on here. So that when I bought it, I thought this written name here was referring to the person in the photo, but it's not. It's referring to the photographer of this photograph. And what we just found here is his we finally found a bunch of information about him, including his grave and this actual photo of him. And as you were coming in, I was saying that this is the most 1900s looking guy I've ever seen. And then he looks like he's about to die on the Titanic. And so let's go ahead then. So I hope that all made sense. So let's go ahead and let's read this, because this has a lot of great information. Oh yeah, you're right. He is missing the cane. Definitely missing the cane. That would complete the look fully. Okay, so this is from William H. Perrin's The History of Cass County, which is one of the counties that he lived in. Charles H. Cummings, photographer and real estate agent, Beardstown, was born in Scotts County, Illinois, December 6, 1842. Son of Henry B. and Ruth Ann Cummings. Henry B. Cummings was born in Maysville, Kentucky, and moved to Exeter, Scott County, Illinois in 1840, where he engaged in mercantile business until his death, which occurred in the spring of 1850. Oh, that's why, okay, because we found the 1850 census for him. That's why he's not listed here. Because he died. This is Ruth. Yeah. Yeah, pocket watch and chain would complete the look. So no, Sherman, I don't do this professionally. This is just a hobby. I do have a background in history. I do have a history degree. But my real job is I actually work in a museum. And I just have I do have just basic experience doing historical research, but this type of stuff that I do, like this genealogy research, is just a hobby for now. Okay. Charles H. received his education in Exeter, Illinois, and at the age of 14, became a brakeman on the Great Western Railroad. Wait! So that article we read was him! There was that article that we found about a brakeman, injuring himself. Hold on. Oh, shoot, where was it? Here, this one. From 1864. I thought this was not him. But apparently he did work on a train. Yeah, in Des Moines, Iowa. Hold on, wait. Is that right? I don't know. And after a few months, he was promoted to conductor and ran a passenger train until 1862. He then... Wait. Oh, no, maybe this isn't him. Yeah, no, wait, yeah, because that's the wrong year. Because this is 1874. Okay, yeah, no, sorry. Dang it, I got too excited. I thought... So it's just a coincidence that he also worked on a train line, and they have the same name. But this is too far. This is years apart. Okay. Till 1866. Wait, hold on. He then began learning photography in Fayetteville, Iowa. Thence went to Des Moines, Iowa, where he remained until 1862. Thence to Indianapolis, Indiana, working as an operator there until 1866. He then operated a gallery in St. Louis until 1870, then conducted a photograph gallery in Mattoon, Illinois. There we go, that's what's on the back of our cards. 2.5 years, and at Charleston, Illinois, 3 years. After spending a year in Jacksonville, Illinois, and conducting a gallery in Virginia, this county, 3 years. He came to Beardstown in the fall of 1879, where he brought his present photography gallery, which has since conducted with good success, employing 1 operator, 2 assistants, and a clerk. He was appointed to Justice of the Peace in 1880, re-elected in 1881, and resigned the office in the spring of 1882, and was elected police magistrate for 4 years. He was also commissioned a notary public in 1882. He carries on a large real estate and collecting business. At Charleston, Illinois, in 1874, he married Carrie Poorman of that place. He is a Democrat. So because of how this is written, this was written while he was still alive. This book, History of Cass County, was written while he was still alive. And there's also nothing in here about him serving in the Civil War. So maybe he was, like, not drafted but didn't serve. Okay, so that opens up the doors for a lot of newspapers. Okay, so let me just double check. Is there anything else here? So he moved around a lot, so that's probably why it's hard to, like, find records for him. Because at what point, according to this, was he living in 1860 and 1870? Oh, no, yeah, he was running passenger trains. That's a crazy career track. Going from working on a train, like a brakeman on a train, and a conductor, to a photographer, and then to Justice of the Peace, and then police magistrate, and then real estate. And in the, what was it, the 1900 census? No, 1910 census, he's an attorney. Hold on, wait, when did he die? December of 1911. Wow, so he died not long after this... No, it was... Where is it? This ship record. When he was doing a trip on a boat. Wow. This is nuts. Yeah, a year before the Titanic. Okay, so I think the next thing I want to do is I want to see if we can do newspaper. Now that we have, like, a good list of, like, all the different places that he lived, maybe let's look. Okay, let's start with Iowa. So let's go ahead and go to our newspapers here. And it's not going to be written by this. It's probably going to be, like, written like Charles. And let's change it to Iowa. Yeah, but then let's change the, hold on, 1862 to 1864. Charles W. Okay, no, that's not him. What if we make it the H? Okay, nothing. Independent. Oh, wait, hold on. Can I change what county? Hold on, what county? Huh. Or what if I just make it say specifically Des Moines? Oops. Des Moines, Iowa. Nothing. Okay, so no newspaper records. Okay. Let's change it 1864, 1866, to 18... Oh, no, wait, sorry, no. 1864 to 1866. I'm gonna change it to Indianapolis. Whoops. Nothing for Indiana. Operated a gallery in St. Louis until 1870. So 1866 to 1870. Whoops. I feel like this is going to be possibly too many. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of other names, people with that last name, but not enough. Not the ones we're looking for. Okay, so let's change it 1866 to 1870. St. Louis. It is St. Louis, Missouri, right? Not St. Louis, Indiana? Yeah, because there is a St. Louis, Illinois, right? St. Louis County, Missouri. Oh, wait, no, that's Minnesota. Whoops. I'll just make it be Missouri, just to see if there's anything. Okay. Charles N, Charles E, no. Reverend Charles Cumming, no, so that's not him. What's this one? School exhibitions. An exhibition at the Colored School of Mr. Charles Cummings. Oh, no, okay. Okay, I know this isn't him. This is a different Charles. I have a feeling just having that last name is just going to be too... Oh yeah, 2,000 results. No, we don't have time to go. Let's change it to Illinois. No. Chicago? No. Were there 7 again? Charles W. Cynthia Cummings. Charles C. Cummings. How about this one? Lincoln Park. No, okay, this isn't him. There was this really cool St. Louis mansion restoration channel I follow on YouTube, but he stopped putting out restoration videos. Oh yeah, those are always fun. I love when people restore. I like what. Okay, actually no, scratch that. Okay, restoration is the better than remodel. Restoration is the best. Those are the best types of channels, and not the ones that just like. Nothing pains me more than when a channel, when what they do is they have a historic interior and then they just gut it and completely remove all the historic character, nothing makes me more sad. In fact, like a month ago, we did a stream on here where I went through Zillow looking for historic houses, and it was so sad every time you'd see a historic house that looked beautiful on the outside, and then the inside is just open concept, white walls, and that's it. And it just, it makes me so sad. Yeah, exactly. Can't stand when they gut it. It's so bad. He then constructed a photograph gallery in Mattoon, Illinois for 2.5 years, and Charleston for 3 years. So 1870 to 18... Okay, so 1870. So let's just say 1870 to 1875, because I think from this point on he's staying in Illinois. Charles A. That's all Chicago. Charles C. St. Charles, no. Chicago. No. What is... Following parties of whom have sold pianos or organs. Oh, this is people who sell pianos and organs. He didn't do that. Yeah, that's not the right town. Yeah, okay. What about Charlie? Because that's how we found the other one. Let's see. Yeah, so that's... Okay, what if we change it 1876 to 1880. What's the oldest thing you've held in your hands at work? Ooh, well, actually, the oldest thing I've ever held in my hands is actually not something I held at work. It's actually in my own personal collection. I have a ancient Greek coin from, I think it's 500 BC, I think? It's been a while since I've looked at it, so I have to pull it out of my stuff and look at it. But that is the oldest thing I've ever... I think that's the oldest thing I've ever held. In terms of at work, most of the stuff that I deal with is like... Because my favorite aspect of history is like American history. So it's not like super old necessarily. I also did do an internship, or not really an internship, when I was in undergrad. I did, because I also have a degree in archaeology, because I initially thought I wanted to be an archaeologist when I grew up, but then I realized I didn't want to get into academia. But while I was an undergrad and I was still pursuing my archaeology degree, I actually did an archaeological dig in near Rome when I was an undergrad. And we dug up stuff that was like almost 2,000 years old, including a few skeletons. Also, Sherman, I will say this: the hella cool that you just said is that's a very self-report of Northern California right there. The hella gives it away. However, I have heard people outside of there say hella. Okay, so 1880. Where is he living around 1880? Is that him? No, because he came to Beardstown in the fall of 1879. Oh yeah, and then conducting a gallery in Virginia, because that's one of the articles we said. Yeah, Charlie Cummings, now a photographer in Virginia, Illinois. That was 1876. And according to this, by 1879, he so he was already in Beardstown, and I guess he stayed in Beardstown for the rest of his life. So whatever county Beardstown is in. Hold on, wait. Chaz H. Cummings. Hold on. Let's try... That's what this spelling of Charlie. Let's try Charles. Okay. What county is this in again? Cass County. Where's Jacksonville, Illinois? Hold on. Morgan County. Okay. So Morgan County and Cass County is what we want to look for. Which are none of these. So these Charles Cummings are not the ones that we're looking for. Let's just try... Let's try that. Oh, hold on, what is this? The bride's parents. 1977, we attended the wedding at the bride's parents of Mr. Chaz H. Cummings and Miss Carrie Hall. Wait. No, this isn't right. This isn't them. Wait, is there another Charles H. Cummings? Because that's not the right... Carrie Hall is not right. So wait, so was there another... Because wait, because wasn't this guy's wife also named Carrie? But we know her maiden name was Poorman. Wow, what a... What a crazy coincidence that there are two Charles H. Cummings who marry somebody named Carrie. Because they got married, according to this, in 1874. So this newspaper article isn't about them, because this is 1877. Okay, so let's change it to 1881 to 1885. Nothing. Okay, let's try Charles. Oh boy. Charles T. Cummings. Okay, Cook, McLean, Macon, Anderson, McDonald, McHenry, Peora, Madison, Cole, Ford, Reckland. Hold on. Okay, what about if we do Charles H? So Charles H. French. Wait, what is this? Charles H. Cummings. Winona, Minnesota. Nope, that's not our guy. What is this one? No sympathy for the prisoner. Charles H. Cummings, a married man and father, committing an aggravated assault on Zoe Norton, a girl 9 years old. Wait, what? Charles H. Cummings, a married man and father, who was recently convicted of committing an aggravated assault on Zoe Norton, a girl 9 years old, was arraigned before recorder Smith for sentence. The reporter said to the prisoner, "You have been convicted of one of the most atrocious crimes that have ever come to my knowledge. Formerly the penalty for such a crime was death. I have had occasions since I have been on the bench to pass sentence of death on 4 men. In each one of those cases, I had some sympathy for the men and some doubt whether their crimes merited the extreme penalty of the law. But in your case, I have not a particle of sympathy, and if the law put it in my power, I would sentence you to death without the slightest hesitation or computation. No words can add to the enormity of your crime. I sentence you to hard labor in a state prison for the full term around by the law, 20 years. Okay, so this isn't our Charlie. This is not my Charlie H. Cummings. He didn't do this. This is a different guy. That is horrible. How many of these are there? 11? New York. No, that's not him. Considering by this point he was Justice of the Peace, and he's not showing up in any newspaper articles. It could also be possible that, like, it could be possible also that because it's a more rural place that they just don't have their own newspaper, or that their newspapers don't, what's it called? Their newspapers haven't been digitized. Because again, it's more small and more local. Let's try... Let's try this. Nope. Let's try this. Okay, hold on. Marshall, Macon, McDowell, no. Where's Stevenson County? Hold on. Okay, it's nowhere near. I was thinking at first maybe like, oh, maybe it's near, like, Beardstown. And maybe that's why we're getting all those newspaper articles, but no, it's not it's nowhere near. Yeah. Let's see. Love how the image of Beardstown is a gas station advertising vapes. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even really think. I mean, that's hold on. How big is the population? 5,951. Yeah, I mean, doesn't look like there's a lot here. They got a diner. Hold on. I'm guessing 4th Street looks like it's the main street, possibly? Or this is the main street? Oh, this is the main street down here. This is weirdly oriented. Oh, it's right by the river. Hold on. It probably used to have a bigger population back when, like, you know, river travel was more common. Oh, wow. Look at this. It definitely... I mean, there looks like they're restoring it, but there's nothing in these buildings. It's probably, honestly, one of those places that has just... probably just died. Well, I want to see Tyson's Diner. What does Tyson's Diner look like? Oh wow, it just looks like... Hey, it has really good reviews. That's the thing. Places like this are like... It's a crapshoot. It's either going to be like great, amazing food, or it's going to give you like food poisoning. No, there it's called Tyson's Restaurant. I mean, I'm surprised, like, you know, in terms of, like, the houses and stuff, like, how big it actually, like... You would think for a town of 5,000 that the downtown would be a little bit more filled out, but I guess it's probably just... It's probably just one of those where, like, the town is just not at all what it used to be. Yeah, look at that. Look at these buildings. They have an old town square and everything. Oh, wow. A local pharmacy. I love these types of town squares, like the grass town square and everything. Is this the city hall? Or the Lincoln courtroom? Wait. It's a museum. Beardstown Lincoln Museum. Was Lincoln here? Did he, like... Wait, hold on. Okay, we're going on a side tangent real quick. Old Lincoln Courtroom and Museum. The Old Lincoln Courthouse Museum in Boston is one of the most exceptional sites on the Looking for Lincoln Heritage Trail. The Beardstown Historical Museum, hosted in the courthouse, has some fine collections including historically and culturally significant objects and artifacts linked to the community. Okay, but why is it called Lincoln? The Visitor Center's River Museum is housed in the Chamber of Commerce. Those include handcrafted river models, river boats, tank equipment. Okay, here we go. Do you know that the courtroom in Beardstown where Lincoln defended Duff Armstrong in the famous Almanac trial is the only courtroom where Lincoln practiced that is still used as a courtroom to this day? Wow. Wait, there's another exclusive fact associated with that trial and Mr. Lincoln. Visit our historical site and find out what the fact is, as well as other facts about our 16th president. Dang, they're teasing you. They're teasing you with Lincoln facts. It's open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 4. Oh, but you have to call for an appointment. Huh. A little interesting side note there. So, hold on, wait, No, okay. Our photographer friend was not here at the same time Lincoln was. Okay. Maybe at that museum they have stuff on our guy. They actually, unironically, probably do, because if he was Justice of the Peace and also a police magistrate, he definitely would have, you know, something. Okay, hold on. What else? Yeah, but there's nothing... Hold on, wait. Let me look up something else. Let me look up something else real quick. What is it? I need to look up a county map of Illinois, because Illinois is one of those states that has like a million counties. I just want to see what counties are surrounding. Oh, no, I don't want to buy one on eBay. I just want to see what counties are like around Cass County. Okay, just to see if maybe... like he shows up in like those ones, because it is possible because he's nearby. So he potentially presided over cases in that very bill. I mean, yeah, that's what they're saying, that he did. And it's like one of the few courtrooms that like still looks like it did, or still is like the historic interior. Okay, so it looks like, let's see, there's a Morgan County. Hold on, let me figure. Pull up a good one, a big one. Here we go. This is a big one. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so not Macon, but is Marshall? No. McDonough? No. Okay. Yeah, none of these counties are even surrounding that area. Okay. Well, let me just double check this again. Because I didn't do this when we looked at just Charles County. Or sorry, with Charles Cummings. Macon. Champaign, Cook, no. Henderson, McDowell, McHenry. No. We already saw the Coles County one. That's the one that's saying that he was made the Justice of the Peace. Yeah, none of those. None of those. Okay, let's change. Let's go forward in time again. 1886 to 1890. Okay. Hold on. Nope. Nope. No. None of those counties are right. Nope. None of those counties are right. And none of those counties are right. Man, this guy, despite being... despite being, you know, Justice of the Peace, there were, like, nothing... He was not making headlines. Oh, hold on, what's this one? Failures in flour. Charles H. Cumming Minings and Co. Flour. Boston. Oh, that's in Boston. Okay. So that's not... That's definitely not our guy. Charlie. Let's try this. 12 matches. Chicago. Yeah, none of these are... That is crazy, because like there have been times we've done other research streams where the whole time we're doing like newspaper research, when they were like, because we've had other people who were like political figures or like judges or something like that, and they would have sometimes hundreds of newspaper articles, and we couldn't go through them all because there was like too many and not enough time. So it's so crazy to me that like there's nothing here for the time he was working in that. Let's try this. Yeah, not Cook County, not that one, and not that one. Whoever the Charles Cummings was in Stephenson County, he was doing a lot. Okay. Okay, and let's go 1891 to 1895. Oh boy. Okay. No. None of those. Not. None of those. Nope. Nope. No. Wow. That is so... Okay. Hold on. Let's try... Oh. Oh god. Why is it glitching out? Hold on. Jesus. Ah, sorry for... Jeez, that was weird. What's this? Stuff at Atlanta to get to Pennsylvania, train over to Pennsylvania. No, okay, this isn't. Okay, Packer Estate. No, that's not him. Glen, Illinois. No, it's not. Champaign. No, it's not him. No. It is crazy how suddenly there's nothing for this guy, considering the fact that he was an important figure in the community later in his life. Oh, and we're getting into the 20th century now, year 1900. And it's getting higher and higher because there are more newspapers being, like, written during this time. No. Lee, no. Nope. None of those. None of those. Livingston County. It's not just Livingston County, it's Livingston County. It's a county in a county. We heard you wanted more county in your county, so we put more county in it. Marshall County, Monroe County, Perry County, no. Okay. Nope. H. Only 2. I mean, this one's from Chicago. Hold on. Charles H. Cumming, a Philadelphia millionaire. Nope, not our guy. Let's see. Let's try that. County. I'm starting to think that there's just nothing from those counties in this database, honestly. That is entirely possible if there is just nothing from those counties in this database. Because that is sometimes how these work. And there's probably going to be nothing. No. Okay. So let's go 1901 to 1905. Boone. Wait, Boone was that? No, it wasn't. Dang it. I thought for a second that was maybe one of the ones. Nope. County. Okay. Let's see. Oh god, it's glitching out again. Hold on. We've been looking at this stuff for so much. Yeah, one of those. Oh, something big happened to it. Charles H. Cumming in 1902, because there's like all of these are for May 1st, 1902. Something. Wait, hold on. I'm just curious. What happened to this Charles H. Cummings in 1902? Oh, it's the death of. It has fatal ending. Death follows the illness of Congressman Cummings of New York. Congressman Amos J. Cummings of New York. Cause of death was pneumonia. Congressman's wife and cousin Charles H. Cummings were at his bedside. Yeah, that's not our guy. That Charles H. Cummings is not our guy. Okay. Yeah, none of those. Okay. No. Okay. Let's go. Dang, normally we can find, like, something by this point. 1906 to 19... 1910. Oh, okay. We do have some from Coles County. Will County, Madison County. Okay, hold on. What are the ones from Coles County? What is this? I don't think... Lyric Theater Vaudeville. Program Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Charles Cummings, singing, dancing, and talking comedian. I don't think our guy was doing... At the end of his life, he was doing vaudeville performances. Okay, so that's not our guy. I wish our guy was doing vaudeville. We actually did one time. We did research somebody who turned out to be a vaudeville performer, him and his wife. And we found a picture of them. It was actually really cool. Christian County. Let's see. Marion County, no. Oh wait, Morgan. Morgan is one of them. Hold on. Beardstown. Wait, this is it. Yes. Hold on. Beardstown. Beardstown elected the Law and Order ticket, defeating Keel for mayor, the present incumbent. The vote follows. Mayor Robert Garm, 717. Henry. Attorney Charles Cummings, 818. Roll Knight 304. Oh, so he was city attorney. Oh, okay. Look at that. Okay, wow, so he was elected by a landslide. He probably had it before at this point. Okay, yeah, so no other... Yeah, that's the only one. Okay, well, hey, at least we got something. No, that's Charles H. Lee, according to the thumbnail there. Not Simpson County, not Boone County. Wait, I just realized I forgot to... Okay, hold on. I'll finish doing these ones. I just realized I forgot to do this spelling of Charlie. Hold on, okay. 19... No, let's go back to 18. I don't know when I stopped doing that, so let's do 1880 to here. I think the Coles County one is the one we've already seen. Yeah. County. Yeah, okay, so there weren't any with that spelling during that time period. Okay. But now, let's do 1911. Because that was the last year he was alive. Okay, nothing. Let's see. Boone, Lee, Macon, Bureau. None of them. Charles H. Whoa, wait, what is... Hold on, what is this one? Coroner dies at an inquest? Wait, what? Charles H. Cummings, coroner of Cass County, dropped dead in Beardstown while holding an inquest. Mr. Cummings had been a coroner for 5 terms. He was 69 years old? Wait, he was a coroner too? And he had like a heart attack or something, like while he was working on something? Where's Streeter? Hold on. Where's Streeter, Illinois? LaSalle and Livingston counties. Hold on. Okay. Whoop, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, wait, hold on. That is crazy. Whoa, so he was looking at a body when he died. Coroner Charles H. Cummings of Cass County dropped dead in Beardstown, Illinois, yesterday while holding an inquest over the body of C.J. Marple, who died Saturday night after a fall. Cummings was prominent in the county politics and had been coroner for 5 terms. He was 69 years old. Okay, that's... Okay, yeah, that's... The rest of these are other people. Wow! That's crazy. Hold on, okay, what else do we have? Rock Island. Charles H. Cummings, coroner of Cass County, dropped dead in Beardstown while holding an inquest. Okay, yeah, that's all just the same information that we already have. I think these all just might be the same thing. Let's see if any of these obituaries are longer or have more information. No, that's just the same one in a different... No, that is in the Chicago Times. Same thing. That is crazy. So he went, again, crazy amount of... Yeah, coroner drops dead. That is a crazy way for this story to end. I would never, and that's why his story is showing up in all these newspapers now, because he wasn't, you know, like it's a crazy story. Yeah, and these are all just the same story being republished all over Illinois. Oh yeah, all these newspapers are just copying each other. It's literally all the same article. Those are all the same. Those are all the same. Those are all the same. Is that all we have for his obituary? What a crazy way for this to end. I never would have guessed that in a million years. Okay, wait. That's for Charles. What if we change it to... that's all January. I just want to make sure this isn't... Okay, no, that's not him, because his parents were dead at that point. Okay. Is this the same? Daybook. Wow. So then I want to know, where did this photo come from? Because that's a newspaper. What newspaper is that? And how do we know that's not maybe like one of the other Charles H. Cummings that we know exist during this time in other places? Hold on. Is this... Oh, this is his son. This is his son's obituary. Okay. That's not who we thought it was. This might not be our guy. Hold on. Yeah. If it is him, there's not enough information, because they could have easily just spelled it wrong, but there's no other, like, side information. Like, this isn't from one of the places he was living, so... It's hard to say. Wow, Hold on, okay, let's go to actually the home real quick. Papers. Filter... Illinois. Cass County. Oop. Yeah, see, there's no Cass County newspapers on this website. That's why we're probably not finding anything. No, hold on. Coles County? It's mostly Mattoon. Oh yeah, Charleston Kirk. Oh wow, that was not... A lot of these were not well taken care of. And a lot of these cover things that... Hey, hold on. It's not Coles County. Yeah, there's way... I think that's the reason why we're not finding anything. It's just because there's just not enough in this database. Okay, Morgan County. (1938). Yeah, this is the only one that has some stuff from that era. Sort of list. '05, 1907. What's this one from 1905? South Carolina. Oh, this is just a story. This is a story from somewhere else, so that's saying South Carolina. Yeah, so there's nothing from our era, really. What if I just put the name Cummings? Okay, there's more, but it's... Yeah. No, nothing for Charlie. What about for Charles? Oh, here we go. 1904. Cass County Democrats. The Cass County Democratic Convention was held in Virginia Monday, and the following candidates for the county offices were put in nomination. Circuit Clerk. Coroner. Okay, Charles A. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is when he was running for coroner in 1904. I didn't know coroner was something that you get, like, elected. Because, wait, hold on. Coroner is what I think it is, right? I didn't know. I thought that was, like... I mean, maybe you get, like, assigned it when, like, somebody is mayor. Yeah, it's a weird... Yeah, I had no idea that was an elected official. Okay, so the Charles Cummings, the only thing that comes up is 1904. Huh, okay. It's interesting. Okay, so maybe this was... So, okay. Then I think my theory is that this was written before he was coroner. because the latest thing we see on here is 1882. So this is written some point after 1882. This excerpt right here. I wish we knew where this photo came from. Hold on. There's one more place that actually might have the information that we need. I just need to sign into it real quick. Okay, hold on. Let me search him real quick. Illinois, 1911. Okay, here we go. This might be something. Okay, here we go. Let me pull this up for you real quick. This is using the website Family Search, which is a bit more crowdsourced than Ancestry, but so you have to be kind of careful with the sources on here. But sometimes you can find things on here that you won't find in other places. Oh, here we go, yeah. Here's his official marriage record. Look at this. Where is... Where is it? Wait, okay, it's come in. They spelled it wrong. State of Illinois. Yeah, this is it. Basically, your Twitter. Have you gone to the Winchester Mystery House also? Oh, I love the Winchester Mystery House. I've been several times. I love it so much. Like I've always said if I had like stupid amounts of money, I'm not buying one of those like bland minimalist, like block open concept houses, like modern houses. I'm building the Winchester Mystery House. I'm going Victorian. I'm making it asymmetrical and like weird, and I'm putting Scooby-Doo style like hidden passageways and stuff like that, where you pull the book on the bookcase and it opens a door and stuff like that. Oh, I'm having fun with it. Let's see. 1910, find a grave. Is this? Do we have access to this? Ah, no. Okay, those are county worth people. I was hoping... that, like, maybe one of these would have... Okay, no, that's the one we just looked at. Or are this all the same? Oh, no, these are all the same. Okay, I'm getting it mixed up. These are all the same person. Hold on. Hold on, what is this? Charles Cumming, Virginia, Illinois. Is this his death certificate? No. Is that all it is? It's just him. It just says dead? Oh, I wish it had more details on it. Dang. Okay. Oh, wait. Hold on. What about C.H. Cummings? Hold on. Hold on, wait. Let's go back to the main. C.H. Cummings. 1880 to 1910, let's just say. And let's just do Illinois. Cook, Warren, Cole. Okay, there's some Coles County ones. Wait, hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. Sort. Oldest first. Hold on. Are these all... Oh, Circuit Court. AB... Okay, we don't know... I don't think that's the right one, because he wasn't living there at that point. Common law cases... Let's see... Oh, Stephen Moneypenny? Did you see? I missed that. Dang it. I missed Stephen Moneypenny. Oh, there it is right there. I see it. That is a great name. Hold on. Okay, this might be him. 1904. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is him. C.H. Cummings, during the present week, is visiting his many old-time friends in Mattoon. He is at present city attorney of Beardstown and coroner of Cass County. His visit to this city has been most pleasant and agreeable. Okay, so some stuff is showing up under C.H. Cummings. Hold on. So we go back to this. What other counties? Okay, Morgan County. What's this one? Judge. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Judge C.H. Cummings and wife of Beardstown have returned home after a visit from his aunt, Mrs. Arnold and family of South Church Street. Okay. So he's, yeah, this is when he is a judge still. And I like, that's the thing with like these little like local stuff in newspapers is that you get random stuff where it could be like an obituary and then below it it'll say like Howe's Ice Cream is a winner. And you better know where Howe's Ice Cream is because otherwise you're not going to be able to get it. My brother bought antique money online from 1777. That is cool. Yeah, old money is always really cool and fascinating. I mean, I have that ancient Greek coin, but I also do have some. I have some money from the Civil War era. I have Civil War era money. That I think is really cool. But the years that's older. 1770. That's like almost 100 years older. So that was Morgan. Let's try this Lock Island one, just to see. No. Okay, yeah, no, that's not. Hold on, let's try. Okay, well, first of all, let's get rid of the county thing. Let's change it to judge in the front. Okay. Where's Warren County? Oh, yeah, here we go. This is him. Beardstown, Illinois. November 14th, 1900. It affords me utmost pleasure to add my testimony to the value of anti-uric as rheumatic cure. Having suffered for 5 years the prostrating and physical wrecking pains of sciatic rheumatism and needed many remedies without relief until I was about worn out, lost 55 pounds in 5 months, felt discouraged and about to give up. I purchased a bottle of anti-uric, which worked like a charm. In 8 days, I was free from pain, and the asiatic is now wiped entirely out of my system. Thank God for my relief and you for the wondrous anti-uric. Judge C.H. Cummings. Anti-uric cures rheumatism in its very form. Call and investigate. It's a crummy commercial. He's giving a testimony about this drug that he took, which it's 1900. God knows what's actually in that drug. Maybe that's why he dropped dead 10 years later. Because God knows what was in this thing. Okay, so yeah, and that's the same thing here. Is that all this is? All of these are his testimony for promoting a drug. Yeah, this is the same thing. It's just a shortened version of it. And I think they probably put specifically that he was a judge, so that way it seems like he has more authority. Okay, this is the one we already saw. Okay, hold on. What? Man-mouth. Hold on. Is that Warren County? Yeah, it's all the ones we just saw. Yeah, okay, so that's definitely not him. Okay, I think that's... Yeah, I think that's where we're gonna call it for now. Because we... This went a lot of places. we started thinking that the guy in the photo above me was, you know, the person whose name was on the back, but it turns out it's not. Instead, we researched the photographer of this image and not the actual guy. Wow. And we found out a lot. We found out that not only was he a photographer, he was a train driver. He traveled all over Illinois, taking his photo studio everywhere, and eventually getting involved in local politics, serving as city attorney and justice of peace. And he eventually went on to serve as coroner, and unfortunately died while he was examining a body. Wow. What a crazy, crazy story. Okay, so yeah, I think that's what we're gonna call it for today. What a crazy, like, that's the thing. You never know where these stories are gonna take you. We ended up going a crazy different direction than what I initially thought. And also, apparently, this was him. I'm just gonna have to take the person who uploaded this word for it because I have nothing else. I'm hoping it's not one of the other CH Cummings in a different part of Illinois. But yeah, let's go ahead. And let's head on back to the office here. Oh, yeah. And you can see here. So yeah, so again, if you missed the beginning of stream, this name that's written on the back of this photograph, it's not the person in the photograph. That's the name of the photographer. As you can see here, the name of the photographer is crossed out here as well as the location. This photographer, Charlie Cummings, was just using this backstock to print his photos on, and then just crossing it out and writing his own name on it. And so when I bought it, I didn't realize that, and I thought this was actually his name. But yeah, okay, hold on. Let me move those. Let me move myself. All right, so yeah, that's going to do it for today, folks. Hope you had a good time. If you're new here, my name's not a professor, but you can call me Nap. I do these streams every Sunday and Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we do some sort of, like, you know, history-related research or genealogy research. But I also do guerrilla streams every now and again where we play games. We're currently playing the game 2 Point Museum, so make sure you go ahead and follow so that you know when I go live next with one of those. Also, I have my YouTube channel linked down below where I've made some shorts on some of the other things that we found on stream. If you want to check out those as well. And yeah, I'm still not used to doing all the talking bits after a while. It's been a while for that. Let's see. Who is live right now? This is the part that always takes me a bit to figure out, because I always don't know who to raid. Let's see. Let's go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and we're gonna raid Neff the Lore Keeper. They're doing a reading, writing and reading stream right now. So we're gonna go ahead and raid them. So if you guys could stick around for the raid, that would be great. All right, let me go ahead and put a raid message in the chat here. First, we'll do the subscriber one. And then we'll do the follower one. All right. So yeah, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hope you guys had a great time going through that journey, because it definitely went places I didn't expect. Yeah, so I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening or weekend wherever you are, or day wherever you are. And I'll see you guys next stream on Wednesday, where we'll be doing more research on one of the other photographs that I bought. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.